Oh, hey, sorry, man.
Watch where you're going.
Yeah, sorry.
What's the thing you're staring at?
Oh, this is my new SCAD Easy Access ID card. Here, check this out. See that magnetic strip on the back? This means that pretty soon I'll be able to buy school supplies, do laundry, even get food.
Oh, man.
What, it didn't work?
Of course it works. Not just the way you think it does, though.
Well, how do you mean?
Listen, imagine a society where everybody had little easy access cards just like that one. Only get this, that'd be the only way you could buy anything. And the government would hold all your money for you.
Well, that sounds pretty convenient to me. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? Think about what kind of things that can lead to, man. Think about a totalitarian state. If there were federal ID cards just like that one, think about how easy it would be to squelch political dissent, stuff like that.
Political dissent? What are you talking about, man?
Listen, let's just say that I were to go around saying we should overthrow the government. As soon as the man gets wind of that, I mean, he's got my name on a list. He can cut me off. He can keep me from buying food, paying my rent. He can track me everywhere I go. Just like SCAD's gonna use that thing to track every building you swipe into with it.
You're paranoid. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's crazy. Why would SCAD have anything to do with all this?
Come with me, man. I'll show you something.
All right. I don't think you're supposed to park here, man.
Yeah, well, I don't like to feed the man's parking meters.
All right.
All right. You know what that building is?
Yeah, it's Powder Hall.
Right, formerly Preston Hall. But you know what that building across the street is?
It's admissions in some coffee bar.
And it's a Scottish Rite temple. Just look at that sign above the door.
Scottish Rite. Okay, so what's a Scottish Rite temple?
Well, it's one of the most powerful of the Masonic lodges.
Masonic. What, you mean like Freemasons?
Exactly.
Well, what does this have to do with the ID cards? I mean, my dad's a Freemason.
I'll bet he's not a 33rd degree Freemason, though.
I don't know.
Well, see, most people, like your dad, are just 3rd degree Mastercraft Masons. They're just in the order for the social and business benefits. But the people at the very top of the organization, the 33rd degree, are some of the most powerful people in society.
Man.
Here, come with me. Look at this. Freemasons, they've always been embroiled in mysterious conspiracy stuff. After JFK was assassinated, a lot of people wanted an independent investigation. But for some reason, Masonic President Lyndon Johnson didn't want that. So he created the Warren Commission, named for Freemason Earl Warren. Members included FBI spy, Freemason, and future President Gerald Ford, as well as CIA Director Allen Dulles. He was a Mason. He had previously been fired by JFK. Anyway, most of the commission's conclusions were directly presented to it by Freemason FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's just one small example, man. Buzz Aldrin, he was a 33rd degree Freemason. He took a Masonic banner to the moon. And all this pyramid with eye stuff on the back of the $1 bill, that's all Masonic occult symbolism, man.
Well, okay, so all this Masonic stuff's really interesting, but I mean, what does it have to do with the ID cards?
Well, historically, high-ranking Freemasons have been some of the most outspoken advocates of single world government, the New World Order, as you might have heard it called. Now, in theory, that would mean an end to war and nuclear weapons and petty conflicts. But in practice, that's going to mean that the Japanese can take away our guns and the Germans can tell us how to raise our children. Only there won't be any us or them anymore, because cultural identity and national pride will be considered crimes against the greater good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're all people, after all.
Yeah, well, one of the problems with the fantasy of a united world is that most people don't like someone else telling them how to live their lives. I mean, we still have people who remember what happened in Nazi Germany when Adolf figured out how the average German should work and worship and raise his children. In fact, those Hitler Youth kids grew up, and now today, they're the ones running around Europe calling for a European economic community. That's just a step to a single world government, man.
Man.
But you see, the New World Order can't just be instituted overnight. That's why the people in charge who are gunning for it have come up with the idea of incremental acclimatization.
Incremental acclimatization? What's that?
Incremental acclimatization involves gradually infiltrating society with products and ideas that seem beneficial, taken at face value, but actually serve a hidden purpose, to centralize power in the hands of a small group of people, slowly robbing the private citizen of his rights and freedom. Incremental acclimatization is designed to go approved, or at least unnoticed, by the vast majority of citizens. And those in power try to suppress the objections of any of those people who might question the supposed benefits of all these programs. And they encourage the public at large to view these dissenters as paranoid freaks, worthy only of contempt and ridicule.
I sure thought you were one of those paranoid freaks, but all this, I mean, it makes sense.
Listen, man, what do you think this new ID card is really for? Think it's to make your life more convenient for you? Or even for the administration to keep track of all of us? I don't think so, little man. It's a tool designed by those in power to get people used to the idea and comfortable with the concept of authority keeping track of everything we do.
Yeah. That way when the federal government issues ID cards that everyone has to have and mandates it, I mean, no one's gonna mind. No one's even gonna notice. Anyone who speaks out against it, I mean, we're gonna be thought of as paranoid freaks.
Exactly. It's happening right now, man. Senator Dianne Feinstein in California, she's been trying to push a national ID card through Congress for years. Sooner or later, she or someone like her is going to succeed.
This is all coming together. It's with the Freemasons and SCAD and these neo-fascists in Congress and the New World Order and this damn piece of plastic. What can I do?
The important thing to do is just to understand. They can't control you if you know that you're being controlled. So just go out, understand, spread the word to all your friends, and try and look for subtle little ways that they're trying to acclimatize us to their nightmare future.
Man, sure I'm glad I bumped into you.
Jazz police are looking through my folders. Jazz police are talking to my niece. Jazz police have got their final orders. Jazz, drop your axe, it's jazz police.
We nuked those fuckers!